I'm Dr. Simon Phillips, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about the IB extended essay in history. Before you do anything else, may I suggest that you subscribe to this page so that you get updates for future videos that I put on YouTube History Mentor page. Well, the first thing you need to know is a little bit of basic information about the extended essay, which applies to all extended essays. First of all, it's about 4,000 words maximum, and it has to be chosen from one of the 6 subjects that you do in the IB diploma. That 4,000 words, as I said, is a maximum. Examiners are instructed not to read after that, so do make sure that you don't go beyond. Of course, also, you shouldn't make it too short. It should be something around about 3,800 to 4,000 words altogether. That doesn't include the bibliography or the annotations, if the annotations are just for reference. What are the benefits of doing the extended essay? Well, the big benefit for students who are around 17 or 18 is that it prepares them for independent research and writing skills that are needed at university level. And an essay of about 4,000 words is roughly the size that you'd be expected to write at university. And even academic papers start from about 5,000 words up. So that it's not far off that as well. So if you're planning to go to university, it's good preparation for that. Again, in history or in any other subject that you're planning to do at university. What's the structure of it then? Well, it's an essay. It's different from the internal assessment in that it's not so structured it's more like a traditional essay. There's an introduction at the beginning and a conclusion at the end, both of which are written after you've written the main body. It's done that way because it's much better to write down what you think first and do the analysis and evaluation, and then go back to do the introduction and conclusion, which should match each other. That is important. It should be consistent. So, apart from the introduction and conclusion, you've got the main body of the essay. And what this should show is that it should show your powers of research, analysis, discussion, and evaluation. And those two are very important. The analysis and evaluation, this is where students can lose lots of marks because they get so enthusiastic that they start writing a narrative. It's a subject normally that they're very interested in, which is a good thing, but you need to make sure that you have focus and you're actually answering a question. That's the other thing. Lots of students might just have a general title, but it actually has to be phrased as a question. That helps you avoid writing a narrative which will get you minimal marks. If you've got a question, you have to actually answer it. What are the tips then for avoiding writing a narrative? Best is to start every paragraph with an introductory sentence in which you address the question. Then you use the rest of the paragraph to illustrate and give examples of the point that you're making. That way, you get to use and show off the knowledge that you have, but you avoid just writing a story, which is not what's wanted. And also, within that, you need, as I said, to analyze and evaluate. So whatever your question is, you address it, you discuss the evidence, and you show your you also evaluate any views that you mention. So you do have to bring in views of historians, like you would for the internal assessment. But it's much more freer in the structure, extended essay. How do you show that you've got your research skills? In other words, your knowledge and understanding. Well, this is where notes and bibliography are important. Although an examiner won't read the bibliography unless he's suspicious that you haven't, work is not your own, they will look at it, the bibliography, and see what sources you've consulted. They'll make some sort of statement about whether it's too short to give a proper to get a proper view of the events or different perspectives. They will also look carefully at the footnotes. That's a way, again, to avoid accusations of plagiarism, which I'll come on to later. The footnotes should be for reference only. That means if you quote anything, or if you mention somebody's ideas, you should have a footnote or an endnote, one of the two, and putting down the source, the first reference should be in full, in other words, the name of the author, both name and surname, or initial and surname, then the title, and if it's an article, then it should have the title in parenthesis, and then the name of the book that it's included in italics. Then it should also have the publisher or the place that it was published and the year. And if it's a quote, or even if you're mentioning somebody's ideas, you should also put the page number on which the quote came from or where they express those ideas. All of those things help you to avoid being accused of stealing other people's ideas or words. And it also shows that you know what's expected at an academic level for essays. Now, on to plagiarism or academic honesty. It can be difficult sometimes to express yourself in ways other than which you've read, but it's something that we have to do. So if you've read somebody's ideas, you should paraphrase them or try to use similes for words so that you say the same thing using different words. This is something which is very important because An examiner will be familiar with many works, and they can tell if somebody has taken the words word by word from, or just copy and pasted something from the internet into their essay. And even if they're not familiar, there are computer programs which is the IB uses, and they can recognize text which is from books or articles. So it's advisable not to do such a thing. The best thing that you can do, I think, is to actually sit down, read, take notes yourself, and then think about how you're going to change it. It's to avoid being confused. It's better if you, at first, just take your notes, write them as they are in the article, and then you know what was written, and then you can look at it and decide how you're going to change it, put it into your own words. Regardless, though, of changing the words, you still need to have footnotes in order to show where you got your quotations from. Now then, all of those things, I think, will help you guide you on your way. Every essay is different, so we can't talk about exact details of it. But if you want to drop me a line or an email, you're welcome to do so. That's at historymentor@teachers.org, or you can use the message form on my website, historymentor.co.uk. So all of that should help you write a good essay. As I said, writing a history extended essay isn't compulsory, but many students choose to do it because it does give them a lot of the skills that they need for their future university courses. If you're doing any humanities subject or social science, then it's fairly standard practice across those disciplines to use to have the same sort of structure. So all I have to say for now. Wish you good evening.